first species of Texas sea turtle is the Kemp's Ridley. It is also called the Atlantic Ridley sea turtle, and it is the rarest species of sea turtles. It is critically endangered and one of the 2 living species in the genus Lepidochelys. In the wild, its average lifespan is 50 years. Its main cause of their critical endangerment is overharvesting of eggs. Another reason is beach lights. The baby hatchlings will mistake the beach lights for the moonlight shining on water and will go the wrong way. They are primarily found in the Gulf of Mexico and weigh up to 100 pounds. Their shell is gray-green and their bellies are yellow-white. They eat crabs and shellfish. They will also eat jellyfish and sometimes seaweed. The second Texas sea turtle is the loggerhead. It is Texas's state sea turtle and is on the International Endangered Species List. The loggerhead species has been on Earth for 110 million years. The family name is Cheiloniidae, and it is the most common turtle species in the Mediterranean. It is classified as vulnerable. There are an estimated 60,000 nesting females left in the wild. They are named after their large heads and are the largest of all hard-shelled turtles. They can dive for up to 20 minutes. They are also considered a keystone species, which means that other animals depend on it for survival. They feed on invertebrates and are primarily carnivores. Our third Texas sea turtle is the green sea turtle. They are sometimes called Pacific black turtles and are endangered. They have a lifespan of 80 or more years and are named for their skin and not their shell. They get their skin color by their veggie diet and are known to improve the health of seabeds. They are the second largest hard-shelled sea turtle and have small heads. They can weigh up to 70 pounds, and the males are slightly bigger than the females. The females will lay from 100 to 200 eggs. Our fourth sea turtle is the hawksbill. They are named after their pointed beaks, which they can use to reach into cracks of coral with their slender beaks. They can be found in coastal waters of more than 108 countries. They play a part in keeping reefs healthy by keeping sponges under control. They grow up to 45 inches long and weigh between 110 and 150 pounds. The females will nest higher and under vegetation, sometimes on beaches, than other sea turtles do. When they get there, they lay about 140 eggs. They are critically endangered and closely tied to their coral reefs. They are one of the smaller sea turtles but have worldwide distribution. An estimated 4,600 hawksbills perish each year. They have an average lifespan of 30 to 50 years, and their favorite food is sponges. We have reached the last Texas sea turtle, the leatherback. It is also called the lute turtle and, like the others, is endangered. It is the largest turtle in the world and was alive in the time of the T-Rex. They can weigh up to 2,000 pounds and can keep warm in water close to freezing. They consume twice their body weight each day, and they are the only species with soft scales and shells. They have the widest distribution of all turtle species and are 4.5 to 5.5 feet long. They're expert divers, and their sharp turtle jaws tear through prey. Their favorite food is the brown sea nettle jellyfish, and are named for their tough skin. They are our modern-day dinosaurs.
Hello, my name is Aurora Lillard, and today I am here with Miss Cindy Lyle.
Hey, I'm Cindy Lyle, the Senior Associate Director of Texas Sea Grant, and I'm excited to be here with you today.
I'm excited you're here. So, Miss Lyle, could you explain what Texas Sea Grant is and what you do there?
I'd be happy to. Texas Sea Grant is part of a national sea grant network. Every single state in the United States, plus Guam and Puerto Rico that border a major body of water, have a sea grant. So any state along the Pacific Ocean, the Great Lakes, the Atlantic Ocean, and the Gulf of Mexico have a sea grant, and we are Texas Sea Grant. So Texas Sea Grant helps communities along the Gulf of Mexico, Texas coast. We help people who either live in these communities or visit these communities better protect and understand their coastal environment and their marine resources that make up their environment. One of the things that Texas Sea Grant does is help coastal towns and cities prepare and recover for hurricanes and sea level rise. As you can see in these pictures, hurricanes do significant damage, and sea level rise is going to continue to cause greater damage to these communities because the water will get higher and higher along the coast. But what we can do is help people who live in these communities with things like maps to show them where flooding is going to be the worst in certain neighborhoods and how high the flooding will be, so perhaps they can build their houses higher than they are at the current point. We work with community mayors and city managers and the community members themselves to help build plans for their communities so that they can lessen the risk and the damage to their houses and their businesses. We can also provide them handbooks and other materials to help them understand how damage is caused and how damage can be lessened. Another thing we do is we help people understand how to help the shoreline and Gulf of Mexico waters stay healthy. So on the left you see two healthy coastal environments, but the things that affect our coastal environments are humans. We're one of the major causes of damage to our environments because of things like fishing lines. If you go fishing, I encourage you to pick up your fishing line and don't leave it there. If it gets snagged on something, do everything you can to get that fishing line up off the ground or out of the environment. If you see one of these monofilament recycling tubes, what monofilament is fishing line. So put your fishing line in these tubes and we come by and pick that up. Not only are we helping our animals stay alive and healthy, we're also recycling the plastic of your fishing line. Red tide is another risk of a healthy coastal ecosystem. Red tide is an algae that is grown offshore, and it comes into some coastal communities at times. Different communities get it at different times. We're really not sure the cause of red tide, but we're trying to determine those types of questions through some of the research that we do. But red tide kills fish, and it can also make it very hard for people with asthma to breathe, and it hurts your eyes if you're on the coastline. You'll know if red tide's around because it definitely hurts your eyes, and you'll probably see more dead fish. Oil spills are another danger to coastal environments. They certainly hurt our animals. As you can see, this pelican, he can't fly, and he probably wasn't swimming very well either, which is why he was probably easy to get caught. So oil spills are something that are very dangerous for our environments, and Texas Sea Grant helps people understand how oil spills affect our coastal environments and what we can do to clean them up faster and prevent them in the first place. Another major thing that we do is we work with fishing communities to manage marine animal habitats. So one of the extreme dangers that humans cause our animal habitats, our marine animal habitats, are plastics. When we have plastic bags or have water bottles and plastic bottles, these are very, very dangerous for the environment because they often end up in our marine habitats. Animals like the smell of food on these plastics, and they want to try these foods just like you wanted to try them whenever you ate them in the first place. So if you can avoid using plastic and use something that's recyclable as opposed to plastics, that's always better for the environment. The other thing is when you put plastics in our environment, these pebbles that you see in this person's hand are plastics that have broken down over time. This is what all of those plastics look like on the bottom of the ocean. So fish eat these plastics. And who eats fish? Well, you and I do. And when we eat fish, we eat plastics. So when we harm our environment, it always comes back around to harm us because everything on Earth is a system, and therefore it's all in a cycle, and what affects one affects the other. Oyster farming is a new industry that was just approved for Texas. So my friend Joe Fox in the blue shirt here, he is starting up efforts in Texas to teach people how to become oyster farmers. Texas Sea Grant is also hiring a specialist so we can help people learn how to be oyster farmers in Texas. And I hope by 2022 you will be able to eat oysters that came from Texas instead of other parts of the United States.
Thank you. Could you explain to us what a TED is?
I'd love to. TEDs are turtle excluder devices. If you look up in the right here, you'll see a extreme endangered Kemp's Ridley turtle. These turtles lay their eggs on our Texas seashores, and they are a prized possession of our animal community along the Texas Gulf Coast. And we want to protect them as much as we can because there's not many of them left. So you'll see in this picture down here, my friend Tony is standing by a turtle excluder devices. They're really big. They're a giant bag that has a cage on it, and the cage is actually not to keep things in, but to let things out. So if you look on this HEB shrimp boat, the shrimp boat has the TEDs hanging off the back. It's those green bags on the back. But if you look up at the top, you'll see the shrimp boat and you don't see the TEDs. That's because they're in the water. And this turtle that you see escaping, there's probably a large bundle of shrimp at the bottom of that bag, but you can see that the turtle can get out, but the shrimp can't. They're trying to harvest the shrimp, but they don't want to capture the turtle. So that's how that works. I'm going to show you a video of how a turtle excluder device works in the water. Okay, a turtle excluder device is a bag that drags in behind the boat, and turtles can escape, but they collect their shrimp harvest. Other things can escape from it too, like fish and stingrays. And that's the end of my presentation. Thank you for letting me talk about this today.
Thank you for sharing it with us. It's nice to know that people are taking action to protect the sea turtles and other sea life. Thank you so much, Miss Lyle, for being here today.
You're welcome. I always want everybody to learn as much as they can about marine life, and please visit texasseagrant.org to learn more. Thank you.